got to figure out where to stand with this new scenery. You're in my office, and that's providing some pretty good background noise, if I don't say so myself. We've got obviously some very important basketballs from past basketball activations we've done. We've got this one is signed by Donovan Mitchell, and then the one behind is not signed, but from a pretty cool event we did with East Bay, the Hoop Hall Classic, which is a yearly basketball tournament for high school players, but typically pretty elite players. So pretty cool to be a part of that. Over here, over my left shoulder, not a weatherman, DeAndre Hopkins, back when he was still with the Texans. So that explains the color scheme. But yeah, we've had our fair share of fun stuff we've been a part of. And as a result of that, our office is littered with lots of fun artifacts from those events. Today we are talking about a really important subject, especially during the time of COVID that we are all experiencing right now, and that is that the unmatched value in-person experiences provide over this onslaught of digital content we're seeing right now. And at a time when digital was already a little bit too heavy, in our opinion, COVID came. It came in like a wrecking ball. It came in and forced digital to tick up even more. So now when you hop on your Instagram, at least for me, and that there are certain platforms where we're inundated by advertisements. If I go to scroll, I'm going to scroll with you here. Not an ad suggested for me, so different people. I haven't seen an ad yet. There's an ad. First ad. Ad is row back. Don't know if I would have even noticed that if I wasn't looking for it, though. I mean, I just don't see the digital noise anymore. So it's why there's unmatched value in-person experiences that brands are missing out right now on because of COVID. And with that, obviously, there's some concern, right? There is this notion of, well, how do we possibly plan? Knowing what's going on. How do we provide our consumers an event, an experience like we had done in the past? But we don't want to fall into the trap of COVID rearing its ugly head, right? Who wants to be the brand that goes, oh, the 1,000-person event was hosted at the downtown event center, and we are now hearing that over 75% of them have contracted COVID, right? That is a PR nightmare. So there's got to be safety implications. There's got to be protocols that are put in place. And we're seeing this pretty heavily with clients right now as we turn the page towards 2021 planning, is this idea of almost kind of A-B planning, right? Here's how it is with COVID. Here's how it is without. But we like to flip that on its head. When we talk to clients, we want to say, hey, rather than A or B planning or COVID or not COVID planning, why don't we look at this as a fusion approach, where we can say, hey, there'll be plexiglass barriers, there'll be face masks, there'll be hand sanitizer stations, there'll be all these things you see right regularly. They'll be in the plan, but if we don't need them, we can pull them back last minute and put those savings somewhere else. So that is the topic of today's podcast. The unmatched value of in-person experiences and how to plan for those with what we know is going on. Hey everybody, I'm Luke Miller, CEO, founder, Moment Creative, janitor, producer. The list goes on and on as it always does. Today, studio technician, craft services. We've got, you never get to see all this stuff when you watch podcasts or blogs like this, but we've got studio lighting, everything set up in a way that it would normally probably not be set. Like why would we have a basketball right there? Well, we do today. So there's some interesting stuff going on in the background. Today, we're talking about the unmatched value of in-person experiences, something that cannot be lost on brands during this time, especially with the digital noise that's out there right now. Brands have largely pumped the brakes, right? Whoa. Don't know what we're going to do. Well, here we are 7-8 months in. It's time for us to start thinking about what we're going to do. Because guess what? You've still got product. You've still got stuff to sell. You still have stuff that you need to get in front of your consumers so they can make those purchases. And if you don't do that, it's going to be sitting in a warehouse, precious inventory, losing value that eventually makes it to an outlet or a Goodwill or a Target or something where you're just not getting the value on your investment. So like we did before, we've got to get out in front of our consumers and we've got to impress them. And to do that, we've got to be with them. We've got to be able to shake their hand. We've got to be able to interact with them. We've got to be able to say, hey, here's our product. Come, touch, feel, experience it. And then make a decision for yourself, right? But the value of in-person is second to none. And it all comes down to human psychology, right? We are social beings. There's a reason humans have gathered in cities. There's a reason we visit farmers markets. There's a reason we go to movies together. If we were intended to be solo solitude beings, we would. And if you look at the annals of time, we haven't been, right? We've always figured out a way to gather. Now, there are those certain few that just want to be left alone, and we can leave them alone, okay? We're not talking about them because we probably don't appeal to them anyways. But we're talking about the people that wake up in the morning and hop on their computer to Zoom again for 8 straight hours. It isn't the same. I know I can see you. I know you can see me. It's not the same. It doesn't give us the same internal response. Our neurotransmitters do not react the same way to a Zoom meeting. We are intended to be together. So with that known, it makes sense for brands to start thinking, okay, we've got to figure out how to get back together. And the value of being together is obvious. So when we start to talk about, we've got some brands that are like going, oh crap, late 2020, we've got some money, let's do some things. So that's great. We're doing that. We're having those conversations and we're making those things happen. But the larger conversations we're seeing is, hey, 2021 is right around the corner. What do we do? Because this may or may not go away. And we can't just pretend that it will, or that it might, or that it's not going to, right? We've got to be able to plan around that. So we have been working with our clients to develop very, very strict protocols, CDC guidelines that help us know what we need to do in the face of a question to our client, right? We want to do this. Okay, if you want to do that, then we're going to have to do this. Now, as you're starting to talk about budgets for 2021, just put a little line item in there for COVID, right? Just be ready for it. That's the little things that you're going to have to do to be able to market to your consumer. Put it in there. I don't know where you take it from, but make sure it gets in there, okay? And maybe that means you scale back certain things. But guess what? A lot of these larger brands are 2-3 years down the road in planning and production. So let's just take a apparel company, for example. The jacket that they're selling right now across town at Dick's or Shields or any other athletic apparel store, that was made months ago. It's been sitting in a box because it's supposed to be sold right now. And stuff that is going to be sold next summer is being made right now. And so there's no real way to plan around that. Now we can even get even crazier on that. Stuff that's going to release 2-3 summers from now is now being designed, right? Conversations. When you start to think about that, it's like, whoa. But as we start to talk about COVID planning, we have to understand that it may or may not be there, and we're just going to have to deal with it. So we throw it in our budgets and we plan for it. And guess what? If it doesn't need to be there 6-7 months from now, oh, that's like a warm hug from mama, right? Here's $30,000 back. Put it towards something else you want to do at this event. Maybe that's an upgrade in talent. Maybe that's an upgrade in your venue. But that's great, right? It's like finding money. I was like walking down the street and seeing a $20 bill sitting there. Didn't plan on having it, but now you do. So in-person experience has unmatched value. And in a world of digital where we're inundated by just constant crap, connecting with your consumer is incredibly important. And we want to show you how to do it. Call a moment. We'll strategize on how we can do it safely. It's time to stop hiding. It's time to start asking the right questions and putting plans in place that let you and your brand get in front of your consumers in 2021. And we're going to lead the way on how it happens. I'm Luke Miller. That's the vodcast. Thanks for joining me in the office today. It was a lot of fun. Definitely a lot more fun to look at. And maybe we'll switch it up next time, or maybe this will always be the view you see. But for now, until the next one.